Hey, today's Friday, August 18th, 2023. It's the Stronghold Digital Mining, the last little reunion we'll have this weekend, unless we do a special something over the weekend. Here's a question that came up. I'm going to play it right now.
So Stronghold Digital Mining presumes to mine Bitcoin, but the question is, what even is the value of digital currency? Because I heard somewhere that it's taken a downturn. I don't know how accurate that information is, though. How true is that?
Okay, so I think that's a question that is a valid question, right? Because for a lot of people, I mean, remember, you and I, we talk about Bitcoin all the time. You and I are probably what some would describe as true believers, okay? So it can sound a little bit maybe funny or silly, when somebody says, hey, I hear, digital currencies, they're maybe losing value, what's going on? Here's how I'd answer that question. There are a lot of cryptocurrencies floating around out there, okay? The reason why Stronghold Digital Mining has chosen to be involved, at least as of right now, with Bitcoin, is because Bitcoin is digital property. I think we're at a point where, well, not only is it digital property, by the way, but it is also the first, the original, and most dominant of all the cryptocurrencies. And from a legal definitional perspective, at least here in the United States, it is the one thing which it seems as if though all the regulatory, bodies seem to generally be in agreement with regard to. Bitcoin is digital property. There's no issuer. It's not like a security, right? So it's not a, when we think of like cryptos, hey man, I'm kind of like trading cryptos. Bitcoin kind of stands on its own, right? As compared to a lot of projects that are out there. And by the way, I'm not diminishing those projects. I think some of them are quite interesting, but I can only focus on one thing, right? And so that's Bitcoin. Stronghold Digital Mining is choosing to focus on one thing, and that's Bitcoin, right? In terms of cryptocurrencies. The entire publicly traded Bitcoin mining ecosystem is choosing to focus on one particular cryptocurrency, and that is Bitcoin. So are the value of cryptocurrencies generally maybe going down? Well, let's speak directly with regard to Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin has seen its price slide somewhat in recent weeks. That said, it is still up quite substantially year to date. And I think more fundamentally, right, at no other time in the history of Bitcoin have there been so many powerful forces aligned to arguably provide Bitcoin with the type of upward catalyst that it really needs to get to the next level. And remember, all of this stuff has a tendency, right? If the past is any predictor of the future, which we are constantly warned should never be the case, right? We don't want the past. We don't want to rely on the past as a predictor of the future, but, the past, for better or for worse, can oftentimes at least provide some clues as to what could potentially happen in the future. So if that past is any guide, as we move into the halving sometime in relatively early 2024, say like late April 2024, that's going to be a very positive catalyst, arguably, for the price of Bitcoin to go up. But even before then, in front of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission are now a number of Bitcoin spot ETFs, right, applications. And, some of the institutions, okay, that are asking for permission, right, to have a spot Bitcoin ETF are among the largest asset management companies on planet Earth. Rewind 7 years ago, 8 years ago, say 2014, 2013. I mean, it would have been inconceivable in some ways, right, for a BlackRock or Fidelity to say, hey, we like to have a fund, right, that would enable individuals or companies or whoever really, right, to have exposure to Bitcoin. Bitcoin at that time just wasn't what it is today. So I think there are a lot of very, very positive catalysts that point to the price of Bitcoin, the value of Bitcoin, right, increasing. And that's something that's going to be of critical importance, not just to Stronghold Digital Mining, but to every company in the Bitcoin mining ecosystem. Of equal importance, right, is to always keep an eye on the network hash rate, right? Yes, the price of Bitcoin captures all the headlines, right? When we see Bitcoin, yeah, hey, it dipped down below 30,000, but it was just sort of like catching its breath before it started its marathon run, right? That's what we can potentially have to look forward to when we see prices where they are now, right? And you fast forward, 6-7 months, things could look very, very different, even before then, possibly. So when we think about, right, Bitcoin, yes, the price of Bitcoin, that's going to make all the headlines. That's what everybody's going to talk about. But those of us who track and follow companies like Stronghold Digital Mining, right, that operate within the Bitcoin mining ecosystem, we also want to pay very close attention to the network hash rate. So I hope that answers the question. Basically, yes, the price of Bitcoin has softened up a bit in recent weeks. It is up substantially year to date. That is Bitcoin. I can't speak to the, 19 to 20,000 other cryptos, so to speak, that are floating around out there. I can only speak as to Bitcoin. When we see the largest, right, asset management companies on planet Earth lining up to say, hey, we want to basically have, right, a Bitcoin spot ETF, I think that starts to really focus the market's attention on the cryptocurrency that, from my perspective, matters the most. No offense to the other projects that are out there. I have nothing but respect for a lot of those projects. But as it relates to Stronghold Digital Mining at this moment in time, the cryptocurrency that matters most is Bitcoin. So, with all of that said, it's been a challenging week, okay? Next week is a brand new week, okay? From an operational perspective, I shared this on X, previously known as Twitter, earlier today. The hash price was actually above 7 cents a hash. And that for Stronghold Digital Mining is great. And at the time that I posted that, Bitcoin was like at $26,000 a coin. So I hope that now we have a little bit of a better sense, right, as to this whole issue of, hey, what's our break-even number? Yeah, I mean, one can throw out numbers like 40,000 a coin or any other number, right? But it all is so incredibly dependent on the network hash rate. I'm looking right now in real time. This is as of about 2:22 in the afternoon on Friday. Bitcoin is trading at $26,033 per coin. The network hash rate is at 345, and the hash price is exactly 6.9 cents. Breaking even, based on the math that we did yesterday and based on the assumptions that went into the math that we did yesterday. We are breaking even, arguably speaking, right now. Stronghold Digital Mining is, with Bitcoin at just over $26,000 a coin. From my perspective, and again, your perspective may differ, but from my perspective, I think the future is looking really, really good. And I'm especially excited for next week because I really think there's a good chance that we're going to get that news release indicating that we've reached our 4 exahash of Bitcoin mining, hash rate, that we're there. We actually achieved it. And that's something I'm really looking forward to. I hope you're looking forward to it. If it doesn't come next week, then certainly the week after that. But in the meantime, let's all be positive. Let's be great. Have a great weekend. And we'll see each other again on Monday, unless we see each other again before then. Okay, bye for now.